Somebody come get 'em. They're too old for TikTok.
Hello and welcome to Two Olds for TikTok. It's episode 177. Catalina, how you doing?
I'm lovely, Dina. I'm just, getting back in the groove of things with my life and my work and my whatnot.
Yeah, you're back at school, back in Ohio. You're prepping for the children.
Mm-hmm.
It's a perfect segue to get right into the talks because we were talking about this last week when I yelled at you and I said, do not cut my summer short because I'm not on the academic school year.
Right.
And one of our favorite creator, Jake Cornwell, agrees.
Mid to late August is really when we start to separate the strong from the weak in terms of summer, because a lot of you are already starting to be like, ooh, fall's around the corner. It's truly not. It's pretty far down the hall, through a couple doors. It's going to be warm out for a while. We have a lot more sun coming. And some of you, I think you actually need a wellness check if you are being like, ooh, it's back to school season. You've been out of school for 4 years and you don't have kids. So I don't think you're going to Staples anytime soon. And I don't think you're buying a 3-ring binder. So it's not back to school. I'm going to be at the beach in late September. I don't care about Labor Day. I mean, I like the day off. I don't care. It doesn't mean anything. It's still summer. Okay? I'm going to be at the beach. And guess what? It's going to be great because the rookies aren't going to be there. The posers aren't going to be there. God will decide when summer's over. When it gets cold, summer's over, okay? Fall will come. Why are we rushing it? Okay? Enjoy it while it's here. If you get a pumpkin spice latte and it's above 75 degrees, really assess. Actually, do what you want. I don't care what you drink. But stop telling me summer's almost over. It's truly not. It's truly not.
My caveat, one of the things he's saying to people is, you're not going back to school. And guess what? I am.
Okay, but it's your profession.
I know. And for me, I'm an exception, not a rule.
Yes, exactly.
But it is true that my brain functions in terms of the academic calendar. It was so funny. Ashley, friend of the pod, was telling us about a vacation she's going on yesterday. And she was like, I haven't been on a vacation at all this year. And I was like, you were in Argentina. And then I realized, I didn't say this, but I thought this. And then I immediately was like, oh yeah, because that's not considered this year to normal individuals.
December.
Yeah.
Yes, the year is 2024.
Whatever. I just like to bridge years, if you will.
Okay, that's fair. But I don't want my summer cut short. I haven't been to the beach enough, so I still have a lot more beach going to do. It's actually really nice in New York this week.
It's not nice in Western Connecticut where it's flooding apparently, and people keep asking me if my parents are okay, but they're fine.
Are they okay?
Oh,
okay, glad.
We should ask if Angela's okay.
Oh, yeah, we should.
Ooh.
Okay, let's text her now, and then hopefully we'll have an update.
Okay, group text, please. What about you, Dinar?
Dinar is demure.
Demure.
Demure is still going strong, and I'm loving it. I wonder how many weeks we have left of it, but I'm really happy because Jules LeBron, the creator, or, that was the controversy, but she's the one becoming famous for it, and I'm really happy she's just living her best life now in New York and LA and had a meteoric rise to fame.
Meteoric. This is the word I'm always looking for on the podcast, and I always say exponential, like some sort of idiot.
Yes, that's why I used meteor, because you were texting me about it. But I'm just so happy for her. All the comment sections on any video is about demure. Even if it's not a demure video, it's just using the terminology now.
It's right, yeah. Everything, people are saying demure in the comment section all across the platform. Mm-hmm. Joe Biden posted something about student loans and this was not on TikTok, but off of TikTok. Oh. Everyone's getting involved in demure. Also, I saw that Jules is buying a new car and is being very practical and demure about her purchase. She was saying that
sticking to the brand.
Yeah, she was saying that she doesn't want anything too outrageous, but she does want either a hybrid or an electric car, and everyone was recommending the RAV4.
Is that what you have?
No, I have a Volkswagen.
Oh, what does Ivan have?
A Honda Element.
I feel like a Honda Element and a RAV4, same thing in my mind.
No.
Because they're boxy, I think.
The
right?
RAV4, not as boxy. The Honda Element is embarrassingly boxy.
I'm going to stay in my lane, and I don't know anything about cars, so I'll shut up about that now. But one of my favorite demure videos this week is by a creator named BJ_TV, and it's about Chipotle.
You see how I came to Chipotle? I didn't order extra steak. I didn't ask for extra rice. Very mindful, very ditzy, very demure.
So I'm at Chipotle. I ordered double steak because I'm big. Very ratchet, very hood, very chill.
Very not demure.
What?
You're not supposed to say like, you're supposed to say very ditzy, very demure. You gotta be
I
classy.
don't want to do this shit anyway.
But you have to be classy.
But I'm ratchet, bitch. That's what I am. Well, take me how I am. Let's do this shit. Okay?
Let's do it again.
I had words with someone the other day about whether or not Chipotle was good.
What's your opinion? You
I
like
think
it?
it's good.
Yeah, we've talked about this. It has given me diarrhea, so
I have not.
don't
I
do
will
it.
be full disclosure. I've not been to Chipotle in at least 2 years.
Yeah, and also there's just cilantro cross-contamination every which way, and I just can't get behind that. But I have been craving burritos recently.
I mean, I would never select a Chipotle burrito, but I think that me becoming a defender of Chipotle coincided with me living in Oswego, New York, and maybe if I were to revisit right now, I might have a different opinion.
That's like you saying Little Caesars Pizza was good.
I
because
never
you
said
lived
that.
Oh, I said that. I mean, if you're in Oswego, Little Caesars is the good pizza choice. No? That's where you got your pizza.
I think, no, there was the Pathfinder Domino's.
Oh, Domino's.
There was a
Domino's
combination
always
Pathfinder
wins.
Domino's. I just like made my own pizza there because it was so awful.
You did. You became a pizza chef. Very impressive. Okay, what's been on your For You page this week?
My For You page has had a sudden explosion of videos of Korean cheerleaders.
This was not on my For You page, so when you sent this to me and said, has anyone else been seeing this? The answer was no. But then I texted my friend Inji, who's from Korea, and I was like, are you getting this? And she is getting it. And I asked her to explain the phenomenon, and basically just at Korean baseball games, they have cheerleaders, and when they strike out another team, they do these dances.
And they're like, the reason that everyone's obsessed with the dance is because they look like they're doing the absolute least. They're just doing this
the
arm
opposite
music
of the
movement.
Dallas cheerleader Thunder. What is it? The Thunder Strike?
Thunder.
What's that song?
Thunder.
Opposite of that, yes.
Another thing I've noticed, and this is specific to the algorithm, is every time I like one of those videos, the next video is someone parodying it. It's a really interesting way that the algorithm is feeding me videos right now, is that if I like it, the next one I get is a parody. And another thing I've been seeing, and this is separate from the Korean cheerleaders, is when you see a video that's a parody, if you click on show me the original of the video I just watched, sometimes it actually shows you the original, which like saves you time with
I love that, the search
combing
function.
through the comments.
The originals, yeah.
So we have one of the videos, I mean, I have so many users here, creators who are either showing them doing the dance, which frequently it's the same song. And they do this like little arm movement and move back and forth. And then there's other creators who are parodying the dance and doing it themselves. For example, at Me Love Ventures did a parody where they wrote on the video, they get paid 160 million won a year to do this. How much is 160 million won?
I actually looked it up, and it's about $120,000 a year.
Damn.
So that seems good, because also I assume the baseball season, it's not a full year. There could be a hiatus.
Yeah.
So that's great.
I mean, what's the average salary in Korea? Let's see. This is going to be very skewed, you know?
Yeah, I don't know this data.
What is a good salary in Korea? Oh, geez. This says on average, South Korean salaries can range from about 731 a month on the low end to 12,940 on the high. I mean, okay, that's just
in
useless.
won, though.
No, that's in dollars. $12,000 a month. Jeez Louise. Okay, this is a Reddit page. Seoul salary. How much is decent to live comfortably? The average salary making $80 million off the bat in Korea as a foreigner is pretty good.
Oh, so that's double. 160 million is double that. So I would say, yeah, 120K is a good salary.
I mean, to me, it's a really good salary in the U.S.
Yeah.
Okay.
In Ohio.
And they're also always like putting on their makeup, and then they just like, which I just think is so funny that they're like in these acts of performance of like femininity and putting on their makeup, and then are interrupted by that and sort of like to blasely do this dance.
Yeah, they get off their seat and just do the dance. I assume that a strikeout has occurred.
I love
There's
it.
another user, IDK Man 22424, who's asking if someone could explain this.
Bro, I have those Korean cheerleaders all over my For You page, and they're just like doing their makeup with the most high quality camera filming them, and they stand up and use that. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like, what? It looks like AI. Like, is this their Thunderstruck or something?
So that's my reaction, is basically like, why all of a sudden is this on our For You pages?
Right.
But it's great.
Right.
It's so different from baseball that we go to, because there's no cheerleaders at baseball games. There are cheerleaders at football games. And I was looking into more, and basically the cheerleaders are on like a platform, and some people just go to the games to see these cheerleaders instead of the actual sport itself, because it's like a K-pop thing.
Yeah, I don't know why this has suddenly become like taken off on TikTok, but this is one of the things I like about TikTok is I never thought of this and never would have known this about cheerleader country culture in other countries.
There will probably be a reality show about Korean cheerleaders now.
And I would watch that because one of my favorite reality shows is Singles Inferno, which is a Korean dating show. And I feel like I learn a lot.
And one of my favorite reality shows this year was about the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders too. So very adjacent.
Excellent.
What else is on your For You page?
Well, another thing on my For You page is obviously Bama Rush. And we said we were going to talk about it a little bit this week. You know, we don't have a dedicated section to it, but this might be our angle. My point of entry for Rush this year, and it's not just Bama, in fact, these are mostly Ole Miss videos, is I'm engaging a lot with the dorm design TikToks. So these are sometimes parents, sometimes kids, sometimes the designer themselves. In this case, we have Mary Margaret Designs, who I was watching a lot of the rooms that she did for girls going to Ole Miss. And they are giving you room tours of the way that they've set up these, you know, university jail cells in an extremely elaborate manner.
Yeah, and Mary Margaret Designs was speaking out. She only takes on 5 clients, which I think is really great. She really treats these clients as like her own daughters.
Yeah, I thought that it wasn't a clap back because she's very sort of southern and demure in her response.
Very demure.
But people in the comments of one of the videos that she made where she's giving a room tour are like, this is wasteful, you're spending so much money, blah, blah, blah. And so she made a video responding to all these allegations and also clarifying that she is not these kids' mother. She is a hired designer, which already, wow.
Hey guys, I just wanted to kind of take a second to introduce myself and talk a little bit about the Ole Miss room that I just completed. So many wonderful comments from everybody. Thank you so much for your kindness. I'm actually not the mom. I am the designer. So I have 2 jobs. I teach 4th grade, and then I also do design in my free time. I got started because my daughter's room went viral, and I just did it because I love to do design. I love things like that. And then I thought, that could be a great little summer job for me. So that's how I kind of started Mary Margaret Designs. But I wanted to talk to you about the Ole Miss room. So the mom and the girls are simply fabulous. I only take 5 clients a year, and part of that reason is so I can really get to know them and just be a part of their lives and get to know, what are they thinking for college, for all the things.
Wow, because these rooms look insane to me. They have headboards, there's 17 pillows, there's artwork. The thing that really skews me out though is every room has a white carpet, and a white carpet in a college dorm. Like, that would be Duty Brown, not like by that time. I don't know that you spilled drinks. People don't take their shoes off. It would be so gross.
There's something about social media that makes people showcase how every corner of their life is aesthetically pleasing or romanticized in a very unattainable way. And this type of video is the one that, for some reason, like other videos I watch them, I'm like, yeah, that'll never be me. This is the one that makes me feel like I am so glad that these videos did not exist when we were in college, because I would have felt so much less. I would have felt like I belonged so much less.
You would have felt pressure.
Well, and also if people around me had rooms like that. We lived in trash heaps.
Yep.
Literal. And I mean, did you know a single person who had like a pretty dorm room?
Nope. I was trying to think. No, I didn't. If someone like hung up a piece of art that wasn't from like the dollar store or Target or TJ Maxx, like that was probably nice.
And granted, we did not go to a school in the South. We went to NYU, which is a different culture, but it's not like people at NYU are lacking funds, right? So I wonder these days if there's any of that culture in the NYU dorms.
I got a bunch of free movie posters from an internship that were always hanging in mine and Catalina's dorm. And one of them was the movie Fat Girls. And starring Monique. What was, Little Miss Sunshine was another one. Those posters were great. And then the centerpiece of our dorms when we lived together was Catalina's father, Pablo. Just a life-size poster of him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was...
That's how we decorated.
I mean, these videos did prompt me to do sort of like a trip down memory lane, deep dive into
our dorms.
Photos of our dorms. And
they were unhinged.
Not only was my dorm a
demure.
shithole, it was also... everything was like a weird lime green and blue pattern from Target. Like, it was definitely bed in a bag.
Like
pink and purple.
Mostly,
pink and purple.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't trade it for anything. I'm just glad, I probably would have actively rejected it, but who knows? Because I also feel like there's a corner of my mind that would have been like, oh, I want to have an aesthetically refined.
I don't think so. I don't think we would have. We were focused on other things.
Yes.
Like drinking.
And having school.
Fun. And studying, sure.
I remember crying the first week of classes when I learned that college was hard.
We got through it, though. Look at us now.
All right, and then the last thing on my For You page, and this, I am getting a lot of content right now that is about eating disorders, and I think it's because I was looking at videos reacting to Liv Schmidt. Yeah, and also looking at Liv Schmidt's page, and now I'm on like eating disorder TikTok, which also, I guess, trigger warning, but this video is about eating disorder recovery, and it's from a user named Liv's Journey 7, and she's talking about how she wishes that if there weren't HIPAA, that ED recovery could be a really good reality TV show.
I've said it before, I'll say it again. If HIPAA didn't exist, ED treatment should be its own reality TV show. And I think one of the wildest events that would make a really great episode would be restaurant outings. Most of the places I went to treatment, we did one outing to a restaurant a week. So we'd go to a restaurant or do takeout or something. And the shit that went down when we went out to restaurants, let me tell you. First of all, we'd always make some sort of like cover story as to like why we were there. So in case anybody asked, we wouldn't be like, oh yeah, we're in ED treatment. So we'd be like, oh, we're like a field hockey team and the coach is the dietitian, or like we're a book club or something weird like that. I was in treatment when I was 14, and I remember we went to like Panera or something, and this girl was just sobbing into her salad. And then several other people started crying because she was like sobbing into her salad, and then they got panicked, and then everyone was sobbing into their respective meals. People were staring. It was uncomfortable. No one ate their food. It was bad. Another time when I was 18, we went to the Cheesecake Factory, and I had a full-on hyperventilating panic attack, and the waiter was so confused. I genuinely can't even imagine what like a bystander thought about this. Looking back, though, it's kind of actually hilarious, and I think it would make really good reality TV.
I would watch this show. This seems, I mean, the characters, just think of everyone's journey and everyone's struggle.
I think it would make me too sad.
It would be sad, but I mean, if it's about the recovery, you have the stories of people actually recovering, and that's a happy thing. But of course, this reminds me so much of Fat Camp, when we would go to the movies and the counselors would stand by the concession like police, so we couldn't buy any concessions.
Awful.
Just like taking the fat kids out in public. They just, you can't be trusted around any food. That was how Fat Camp was.
Also, policing food is not going to give children a good relationship to food, because
you think?
yeah, I guess I don't need to go off on that one. Well, what this video made me think about was, have I ever waited on a table like this in my experience as wait staff? And I don't think so, but one thing that would happen to me somewhat frequently when I worked in Texas was I would go up to tables and like ask them a question and they wouldn't respond, and then I'd realize they were praying.
I wasn't expecting that. Were they closed eyes, just muttering under their breath?
It would be like people saying grace or something. I've noticed
holding hands.
Cafes. So I worked at something that was more like a fast casual lunch place. So it wasn't really coffee shop culture. Ivan, my husband, has frequently worked in coffee shops, and that is where people do Christian Bible studies. If you go to a coffee shop, there's going to be Christian Bible studies. There was one group of CrossFitters that would come in and order like 3 beef patties and steamed broccoli at 7 a.m.
Ew.
Nasty. And then there were people who were definitely some sort of like church affiliated. And then there were just regulars who, I guess, like say grace or whatever before their meal, but I never knew. And so I would go over and be like, is everything okay? And they would just be silent.
And then did you just about face?
I would just kind of like figure it out and be like, whoop, and walk away. Like, enjoy your meal. What about you, Dina? What's on your For You page?
Okay, I haven't been getting Bama Rush or these dorm videos, but I did get a video by Bailey Evan about college from the years 2007 to 2011, which is very much, we were 2006 to 2010, about the music.
I saw a TikTok of someone the other day saying that going to school between 2014 and 2018 was the best time, but I counter with 2007 to 2011. And obviously I'm biased, but wow, the music at that time, like, can you imagine you're in a frat basement and Paper Planes by MIA just came out? Crank that, Soulja Boy. Sophomore summer, I'm on campus and I Got a Feeling by the Black Eyed Peas. Early Lady Gaga, like when Lady Gaga became Lady Gaga, Kesha came to our campus and performed, and it was maybe the best night of my life. On top of that, I had a flip phone to start and then a BlackBerry. That BlackBerry, oh my gosh, when that red light would light up, it was over. Pavlovian response to that red light. A little upload while you're out at the frats, bringing out your digital camera and then dumping 125 pictures onto Facebook the next day. And then I graduated and went to law school, and One Direction hit the scene in 2012. And that is what I blame not getting good grades in law school on. I was too busy watching One Direction, X Factor YouTube videos, and I don't regret a thing.
This made me think about our videos dancing to Lady Gaga. Like, that very much puts me in college when I hear Lady Gaga, early Lady Gaga.
I also was just taking a Peloton class where with Cody Rigsby, where he played Just Dance, and he mentioned the second artist in Just Dance. Do you know who the second artist is?
Wait, no, I don't.
Colby O'Donis.
Who is that?
Exactly. I guess like Akon. He was someone who Akon was supposed to be on the song, but then
I love Akon.
They put Colby O'Donis on the song, who had worked with Akon. And I was reading his Wikipedia page, and I feel kind of bad for him because Just Dance,
no one knows who he is,
skyrocketed Lady Gaga's career, and Colby O'Donis. But you know what? He's probably rich, hopefully, from the royalties from just that one song.
He's getting royalties, yeah.
You know, so I think it's okay. And honestly, I think it's a better work-life balance not to be famous like someone like Lady Gaga. something I've noticed on TikTok recently, and this is connected to this video, is nostalgia for the cultures of the early 2000s that we were actually a part of. So we're moving, there was the Y2K fashion, but now they're getting into glamorizing and romanticizing indie sleaze because of musicians like The Dare, who are sort of emulating this aesthetic that was popular when we were in college. Like when we were in college in New York City, that was apparently the heyday of what's now being called on TikTok indie sleaze culture. So it's literally New York City, also LA, the hipster music scene of the early 2000s. And there were also clubs that people would go to and take these like hipster club pictures. There was one in particular that I want to say was called Misfits. I'm going to have to do more research on this because it's
Misfits was like a band.
It is a band, but I'm pretty sure there was also a club party specifically called, I'm going to look it up.
A party called Misfits.
I think it was called Misfits. I can't remember. This was also the beginning or like the heyday of Rubelade in Brooklyn. Do you remember Rubelade?
I remember that. I never went.
Same. Wasn't cool enough. It was also when like American Apparel was at the peak of its coolness.
American Apparel. Yeah, those t-shirts.
So that's a trend that I'm seeing currently
Interesting.
on TikTok, is this fixation on essentially when we were 20, in our 20s, as being the best time to be in your 20s. And you know what? I don't think that's true.
I don't know. I mean, listen, I loved my 20s, but I love my 30s now too. It just gets better with age.
I think they're saying that time period of music was such a good time period of music. And like, I guess
but
in
now
retrospect,
we have Chappell Roan.
Yeah, every decade has their stuff.
And they have exactly.
And every decade always thinks that they are in a wasteland of lack of stuff until they have hindsight, and then they realize that they aren't.
You know what? The worst time to be going to college was definitely COVID. Like, they got screwed for sure.
Oh, yeah.
So, like,
sorry,
yes,
guys.
like, yeah, we were lucky with our time. And the music. The music was great.
I mean, the MGMT, stomping through the streets to MGMT. Yeah, I loved that music, but it's so funny to see people... Avicii. That's not categorized as indie sleaze, but that is...
Okay, but to be honest, I don't know what indie sleaze is, and nor was I a part of that in my 20s.
I was, though.
You were.
It was like the grown-up emo kids became hipsters in New York City.
Right, that wasn't me.
No, you definitely were not.
I did wear American Apparel t-shirts.
For sure. For sure.
Also, you mentioned a band named Dare. Like, I don't even know who
The
that
Dare.
is.
Oh my God,
Who's
Dina.
The
Are
Dare?
you on
know
TikTok?
I know Dare is like that drug campaign.
The Dare is a singer. He is actually 28. He is known now for collaborating with Charlie XCX on Guess on Brat.
Oh, okay.
And I saw this whole breakdown of how he was rebranded in this early 2000s indie style, which is actually this whole like skinny tie vibe that more reminds me of the Strokes than anything.
I was thinking the Strokes. Okay.
Which for me,
or Spoon.
No. No. Well, maybe a little, but no, not that.
Okay.
You'll educate yourself on the Dare, and we'll circle back.
Okay. Well, is the Dare like someone like John Summit, who just appeared on TikTok out of nowhere? And
the Dare is someone who is emulating a certain aesthetic that is wearing, or he's adopted an aesthetic of wearing a black suit and tie and sunglasses, and everyone thinks he's British, and he looks like a hipster who looks like someone trying to be a new wave artist, and he's popular now, and he's from New York City, or based in New York City.
I'll do my homework, and I'm going to listen to some of the music, and I'll report back.
He has a song that's like, I like girls that do drugs.
It sounds like a song that, it could be a bop, it could be a flop. I don't know, based on your singing of it.
There is also a difference in 2007 to 2011 music between the Avicii time and the like yeahs of that time, which I was engaged in both sides of the equation. I think you were engaged more in like the I Got a Feeling. side of the equation.
For sure. The basic side.
Liam. I love that line in that song.
Okay, speaking of artists who are fantastic, we have Adele, and she's been touring in Munich, and I've been getting so many videos of audience members who are singing, and this one, her name's Lisa04. She said, POV, it felt like I carried my section during this part, and this is from the concert.
Rolling in the deep you're gonna wish you never had met me. Tears are gonna fall. Rolling in the deep. Hello? You're gonna wish you never had met me. Tears are gonna fall. Rolling in the deep. You're gonna wish you never had met me. Tears are gonna fall. Rolling in the deep. You're gonna wish you never had met me. Tears are
This had me laughing, like cry laughing. I thought this is so good because Adele is screaming, louder, I can't hear you. And this girl is seemingly the only one singing in her section. And this is what I think I sound like at concerts, just like not the best voice, but like I'm into it and having fun. And then there's another POV, a guy who's is definitely in a different section than this girl, who also is like the only one singing, and it's by @concerts.talk.
rolling in the deep. Hello? You're gonna wish you never had met me. Things are gonna fall. Rolling in the deep. You're gonna wish you never had met me. Things are gonna fall. Rolling in the deep.
Why was no one singing?
That's the question. Like, why was no one singing? I don't know about like German concert culture, or like in Munich, maybe there could be a language barrier but to the words, but I assume if you're at an Adele concert, like, you know the words to that song.
Right. Would this be you?
Oh yeah, I'd be singing terribly, and people around me would probably be getting upset because I'd be ruining the concert for them. But actually, this is at a time when she asked everyone to sing, so if Adele's asking for it, you sing.
I would just be so embarrassed if I was trying to like hit Adele's notes and I was the only one singing.
It's just so funny though. Okay, the last thing on my For You page is like it's not a Miss USA pageant, it's in the Philippines, but it's some sort of pageant. The judges just asked the most ridiculous question. Here it is.
How would you describe the colors of the rainbow to a visually impaired child? Once again, how would you describe the colors of the rainbow to a visually impaired child?
Well, it's hard because no matter how hard you explain, they have no idea what color looks like. But if I do it my way, I will use my voice. I will shout, I will cry, I will laugh, and I will whisper. Why? Simply because rainbow represents our differences. And that is our life. We cry because we fail. We shout for equality. We will laugh tonight to those people who look down on us, and lastly, I will whisper, my dear, I know you feel different because of your disability, just like how I feel different because of my gender. But always remember, just like the different colors of the rainbow, you belong, we belong, and then no one will ever be left behind, just like how the colors of these rainbows unite. Thank you, and Maayong Gabi, Metro Cebu.
Catalina, if someone asked you, how would you describe the colors of the rainbow to a visually impaired child, what would you say?
I mean, I love the way that the comments on this video were so good too, because everyone was like, yeah, ask a stupid question, get a stupid answer.
Get a stupid response, yeah.
I mean, this is such pageantry. This is peak pageantry. How would you describe colors? There's got to be a way. I think I would say like, oh God, I'm not a trained pageantry artist. I think I would say, you know how things taste salty, sweet, sour. Ooh. You know, I would draw on another sense. Uh-huh. And then I would say we assign, that also happens with sight, where ways that light is refracted in our eyes is assigned different names. And then that's how I would describe it.
That's actually really good. I think you did a great job.
Yeah, the problem is I really need to workshop my knowledge of where color comes from, but it's light and refraction somehow.
This reminded me for some reason, Ben was a tennis coach and the event was for sight impaired children. Mm-hmm. And normally when you play tennis with a blind person or someone who's sight impaired, there's a bell so you can hear the bell so you can hit the ball. But this event sadly didn't have the balls with the bells. One of them asked Ben if he could self-hit it, and Ben was like, sure. And then Ben threw the ball at him, forgetting that he can't see. Ben. So the ball just went. But that also reminds me, there's a great clip of American Idol when Ryan Seacrest tries to give a blind person a high five after the audition.
Oi, Gewalt.
Oi, Gewalt. Let's move on to our last section for this week, which is our food section.
Yum, yum.
We have a great crispy rice salad by Sivan's Kitchen.
If you still haven't tried crispy rice salad, girl, you are missing out. It is probably one of the best salads I've ever enjoyed. I'm not letting this one go. This is crazy good. To get started, we're going to prepare our crispy rice. This is white rice that has already been cooked. Mix it with some chili paste, oil, flatten it out on a baking sheet, and bake it. In the meantime, we'll put together all the vegetables for the salad. This crispy rice salad, also known as nam khao, originated in Laos. There are many versions to this salad, and I've kind of created my own, using some cucumbers, fresh herbs, and to be honest, really just adding what I thought would be good in it. So I'm not sure if this is the right way or wrong way, but who even cares? And every single ingredient, whether it was creamy or crunchy, added its own unique blend to the salad. Lastly, we're going to combine all the ingredients of our dressing in a little bowl and give it a good mix. All right, now put it together, add peanuts, crispy rice, and dressing. Holy moly, do not let your summer go without this salad. Enjoy, my friends.
I said I like this minus the cilantro, of course.
I had something at a restaurant yesterday that you would hate because of the amount of cilantro that was around it, but it wasn't in it, so you could just wipe it off.
Oh, then I don't mind that.
I would love it because I love cilantro, and I'm always looking for a crispy rice moment. I've tried...
Yes, I love a crispy rice.
Like a crispy rice with sushi on it. I've tried to make those little squares of crispy rice that people make, and I find it very challenging. I think because, honestly, you need to use more oil than you probably want to use to get it nicely crisped.
I'm excited because I'm going to try a recipe for dinner tonight that Catalina sent me. It's a gnocchi sausage peas recipe.
Yum, yum.
I can't wait to do.
Report back.
I'm going to report back. Okay, our next video is about MSG, which has become popular because the cucumber guy uses MSG in the cucumber.
So this user in particular, Izzy Cavota, is someone who prior to the cucumber guy, didn't know about MSG or had preconceived notions about MSG, which is why I thought it was a particularly good video about people learning from the cucumber guy.
I have never tried MSG before because I thought it was bad for you, but apparently that's rooted in racism. I posted a video talking about the cucumber recipe, and I was like, oh, I'm not going to put MSG in it because it's bad for you. And everyone was like, no, that's rooted in racism. In 1882, America passed the Chinese Exclusion Act to limit the amount of Chinese immigrants coming over to America. And then in 1960, an English journalist published an article talking about how they got sick from MSG, calling it the Chinese restaurant syndrome. And from there, people just thought it was bad, including myself, and now I feel like a fool. So today I'm going to be trying it for the first time. I've been making the cucumber recipe without it, so I do feel like this is going to be a good test of how much of a difference it actually makes, and I'm very excited. And I'm very excited to include MSG into my diet from now on because fuck the racists. Fuck it. So I'm going to do the recipe as I have been, starting off with soy sauce, obviously. A little bit of fish sauce. I don't like thinking about this one too much. Sesame oil. I like to do the spiced sesame oil or the seasoned sesame oil. Spiced vinegar. This one's also seasoned as well. And then my secret sauce, a little bit of spicy honey. Okay, and now we're going to put in the MSG, obviously. I'm really excited. I'm very bummed that I thought that this was a bad thing, and I feel like a fool, like I said. So we're just going to throw it in. Yeah, that feels like good. I don't know how much is too much. I'm very curious if this is going to make a difference or not, because I've been eating this once or twice a day, so I feel like I have a pretty good gauge on how it tastes, and so we're going to see if it actually makes a difference. Wait, that makes a huge difference. It's like all of the flavors from all of the individual things that I put in here, it's like they're punching me in the face. Oh, I got it. Oh my god, I get it. MSG, obviously.
Yeah, I remember being a child and there were signs out of Chinese restaurants. It's not like that anymore. That would say like, we don't use MSG or, you know, and just like in big letters, which is crazy that they had to do that.
I think that like Anthony Bourdain and David Chang, I think Anthony Bourdain talked about it, definitely David Chang, were people who, those were some of the public figures who talked a lot. I mean, obviously they're cooks, chefs who talked a lot about the racialized rejection of MSG, particularly in the United States. And so I knew this already. You knew this already.
I did know that it was rooted in racism, but it still has the negative connotation.
Well, and then you see people in the comments too, where people in the comments are like, well, I get migraines. Yeah. And then you go online and there's no conclusive studies that headaches and MSG are connected. The main thing is that it's sodium, right? So like salt, if you eat too much salt, you're going to feel like shit. Like, if you eat too much of anything, you're going to feel like shit, guys. So, I think one thing that I found, though, is that even though I know all this to be true, it's just so ingrained that I, like, don't reach for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So, like, even though you know and you're, like, unlearning this stuff. So, I did... that girl, though, when she put the MSG in...
Oh, she put a lot on, and
so
all the comments were like, oh, wow, that's a bit
and someone
too
was like,
much,
use
though.
it like salt.
Yeah.
So I liked that.
But she still liked it.
Yeah, I used MSG because I made the cucumbers and I used MSG in it and it was great. It really makes the flavor pop. MSG is in tons of things. It's naturally occurring in tomatoes. It's in
Doritos.
Doritos, yeah. Like, what do you think makes things taste good? That.
MSG. Let's end real strong. We have a video by Daddy Natty. The dense bean salad trend that we talked about a couple of weeks ago, still going strong.
I don't like to comment on like religion or afterlife or anything like that, but I know one person who's for sure going to heaven, no ifs, ands, or buts. It is the dense bean salad girl. I didn't know you could do this. It's actually the best thing that's ever happened to me. I'm not kidding. I've been enjoying what I'm eating every day and not having to spend any time cooking. Because I didn't realize you don't even have to, like, keep putting a dressing on it. Like, the dressing goes on it when you prep it. You literally just open it up and eat it. Life is so beautiful.
I have a dense bean salad that I made yesterday.
Oh my god, I still haven't made one, but I want to.
Actually, I made it Saturday.
Wow.
And you know what I was thinking as I ate it today?
Tastes good.
This could use some MSG.
Oh wow, put some on.
I know. What I think I need to do is put it on the whole dish and not just like sprinkle it like I'm salting my food. Because I'm worried that it's going to be like too powerful.
Yeah.
There will simply be too much flavor.
What are you going to do with all that flavor? It won't be demure.
Not demure. Yeah, you got to make a bean salad after you make your gnocchi and report back.
One thing at a time.
And I am going to get to the bottom of the club party that I'm 100% convinced was called Misfits. That was the peak of the indie sleaze era in 2006 to 2010.
Excellent. We have so much homework to do for next week, but this week has been lovely. Thanks everyone for listening, and see you next week.
Oh, also Angela's fine.
Oh, yes, Angela is fine. Yes.
Yay.
Yay for everyone being okay.
Bye.